In this tutorial, I'm going to show you all how to do the invisible decrease. So right now, I'm going to be showing you an example of using invisible decrease with a portion of this ball pattern that I have a tutorial for. It is 3 parts. So this is worked up to at least the part 2 video. So specifically working the rounds 1 through 13. That's what this is here that I've done. So if you would like to get some practice with your crocheting and all of that, and then also to follow along specifically with this tutorial, go and check out those videos. I'll have them linked down below for easy access. But you can easily do invisible decrease with just a swatch if you wanted to, but you're more likely to be working in the round where this will come in handy. Because in my crochet a ball, if you have seen that video, or if you've ever crocheted and done decreases more in the round, you might notice that some of your stitches will kind of become very gappy. And the intention for the invisible decrease is to kind of keep your stitches more tighter, especially as you're coming to do that on the top half where you're coming together and making a smaller end. So invisible decrease will really help with keeping that gappiness away. Otherwise, you're going to have to do probably what I did in my tutorial, where you're going to have to kind of go back in and sew in through your gaps, which is fine if you're not comfortable with doing the invisible decrease to do that. But if you want to avoid doing that and make maybe your project go a little faster, doing the invisible decrease will really help with that. The invisible decrease is very simple. You won't really do too much different from a regular decrease, because like with a regular decrease, you'll just go in and then go in underneath both of your stitches to combine it into one. So that's a regular decrease. But for an invisible decrease, you'll actually, and in my pattern here, I'm going to work my single crochets, sorry. So I'm doing my 4 here. My 4 single crochets are part of my little pattern. Now I'm doing my invisible decrease. So instead of going through both loops, so when you're going in your stitch like I was just showing you guys with that first one, you're only going to go through the first loop. So see if I can show you guys here. My little thing wants to get in the way. So you got your V's. So you want to go through that first stitch. If I can get this thing out of the way. It's kind of hard to tell with this one. So you're just focusing on that first loop. That's what you'll work in. You won't work on this back one for specifically your decrease in this situation. So pay attention to what your pattern's asking. Some cases it might be different, but in this situation we are working only in the front loop to make our invisible decrease. So you'll pull like you did, like you're doing a normal decrease, and you'll do that the same way with the other one, only through the first one. So our back ones have not been worked through. We're just working through the first. And if you can see, because we're doing that, it's kind of like we have our little friend there, kind of sewing that extra. You can kind of see where that loop fills in that gap. So it's kind of like you're doing the multitasking of sewing in your little gaps while making your decrease. That's why I said this might be a lot more handy instead of having to do your decreases and then going back through at the end and trying to fill those all in, because sometimes it just can make your project look a little wanky. So going on along, we're doing our 4 single crochet again. And then I'll show the decrease one more time. So you'll go in that first loop, and then in that next one, and you'll pull through those 3 loops. And that's all you really need to do for an invisible decrease. So be sure to check out my crochet a ball if you want to kind of get more practice in. I go in a lot more in depth about how to make the ball and do all the other things. Just ignore how I do the decreasing if you prefer the invisible decrease method. It'll still work the same, just make sure you're going through only that front loop. Let me know if this tutorial was helpful. Well, happy crocheting, everybody!